G'day and welcome to Fortress Learning. My name's Steve and in this video I'm going to give you an introduction to some of the essential skills needed to get you started in the world of virtual delivery. Virtual delivery may seem a little daunting at first, particularly if you're used to more traditional in-person and face-to-face modes of training. But with a little bit of patience and know-how, you'll soon find that the online mode of delivery can be just as powerful and effective as in-person training. It can even offer some features that simply aren't available in traditional modes of delivery. Just like your preparation for any mode of training delivery, being organised is the key to success. And in the virtual world, there are a few extra things that you'll need to prepare before you start your training sessions. Your virtual learners can very easily become distracted if they're not kept actively engaged. So it's really important that you not only know your content, but make sure that your resources are in a location on your computer that's familiar to you and easy to access. You don't want your students to be losing focus while you search frantically for the resources. Take the time to get prepared in advance by getting familiar with the delivery platform that you'll be using to deliver, because you don't want to be fumbling around trying to figure out how to display and share files when the class is live. Later in this video, we will be talking a little bit about the Zoom platform and some basics on its operation. Some students are nervous about attending any training, and particularly so if they've never been in a virtual classroom environment before. So building a rapport with them right from the start is really important. Don't be afraid to show your face and let your students know who you are. Use your virtual personality, introduce yourself, and say g'day to each student as they arrive in the virtual classroom. Body language also plays a big role in building this rapport with your students and in gaining their trust and willingness to participate in your sessions. Always try to maintain a friendly and positive appearance and avoid sitting slouched or slumped over your desk, because if you don't have any energy, your students probably won't either. In preparation for your training sessions, don't forget to consider what your students can see and hear. Make sure that you don't have anything on your computer screens that you don't want others to see. Is your video background clean, tidy, and suitable for the learner group? Have you checked your video and audio equipment to make sure, firstly, that you're framed properly and that there are no ambient or distracted noises? Think about the standards of behaviour that you expect from your students in the virtual classroom, and remember that you're the trainer and it's your job to set these rules for student participation and behaviour. It's much easier to remind people about the rules than it is to make them up as you go. And if you lower the standards, your students will follow. General rules for virtual training etiquette include explaining to your students that cameras are essential and must be switched on. Your goal should be to make the session as close as you can to a traditional face-to-face class where students are required to interact with you and with each other. Remind your learners to keep their microphones muted when they're not in use. This will eliminate unnecessary background noises that can become very distracting and annoying, particularly for those students who are wearing headphones. Now, virtual backgrounds are great so long as they are appropriate and not offensive to yourself or other students. Some video backgrounds also can be so animated that they become distracting to you, the trainer, as well as your students who are trying to concentrate. Make sure that you keep your learners visible to ensure that everybody's included in the session. Just like a traditional classroom, you need to be able to see everybody. Even when you're sharing content, make sure you select the appropriate gallery view to ensure that you can still see and monitor all learners and answer questions as necessary. If you need to record your sessions, this is also a great way to verify attendance and participation of the learners. There are many different online training platforms to choose from, but in this video, I'm going to focus on using the Zoom platform, which has become particularly popular because of its functionality. Now, in this next part of the video, I'm going to discuss some of Zoom's essential basics for delivering training. Let's take a look at the key features of the host's menu bar that you'll see when you launch your Zoom meeting. First, the microphone icon. This button is used to mute and unmute your microphone. The video icon is used to turn your camera on and off. Next, you'll see the security icon, which allows you to set the parameters for the meeting, including what you would like your students to do and what you would like them to not be able to do. Here I would recommend having Enable Waiting Room selected, as this will allow you to let your participants into the meeting when you're ready and not have them arrive unannounced, particularly when you're still setting up. The participants icon, this is where you can see a list of meeting participants and where you can let them join the meeting from. In this dialog box, you can also mute the participants and stop the video. This is very handy, as often students don't turn off their audio when requested or when they go on breaks. Now, for privacy reasons, of course, you are not able to turn the audio or video back on. Only the student can do that. Next icon you'll see is the chat icon, which launches the chat box. Now, this is a handy tool that allows you and others in the meeting to send text messages and files to other individuals or to the entire group. Now, this is a great function for when you want to check up on individuals privately or to share resources amongst the group as well. Click here to select who will receive the message or file that you want to send. Type your message or drag and drop your files into this section, and then click the airplane icon to send your message. Let's take a look at screen sharing, which is a very valuable feature that allows you to share and work on documents live with others in the meeting, as well as presenting resources such as images, PowerPoint presentations, and even videos. You can even ask your students to share their own screens so you can see what they're doing and provide support when needed. To use this feature, start by clicking on the Share Screen icon in the main menu bar. From the window that appears, you can select the screen or application that you want to share. Just as a tip, sharing a screen rather than application is generally a better option if you want to show a number of different things. Otherwise, you'll need to stop and reshare each time you show something different. You can select the Share Sound option if the content you are showing contains audio, but if not, you can leave it unchecked. Finally, click the Share button in the bottom right corner to confirm and start sharing your content. When you share your screen, your Zoom menu will now be accessible by moving your cursor to the top of your shared screen. Click on the red Stop Share button in the menu to stop sharing your screen and to return to your normal view. To ensure ongoing interaction with the entire group of participants, it's important to ensure that you can see everyone. Now, when you share your screen, the app may only allow you to see some of the meeting participants. If this is the case, click on the View icon in the top right of the window that's displaying your participants' videos and select Gallery, which will allow you to stretch the window so you can see everyone. To ensure your participants can see your shared screen as well as the other participants, ask them to select the same View icon on their computers and choose the side-by-side gallery option. This will allow them to see your shared screen as well as everybody else in the meeting. There's a handle between the shared screen and the participant gallery on your students' screens that can be clicked and dragged to the left or right to increase or decrease the shared screen size and allow more or less participants to be seen. Now, this is a great setup option to ensure that everyone is included in the session. Okay, so far we've looked at just some of the basic essentials that are needed to get you started with the delivery of virtual training. There are so many more amazing features in online learning platforms that can propel your students' training experience to the next level. So stay tuned for the next installment in the world of virtual delivery. Thanks for watching, and if a career as a trainer in vocational education is something you're interested in, contact Fortress Learning to see just how you can get started.